getting ready for another episode of Average Sports by some average guys, Eric and Ty. Glad to have you guys tuning in. That's Eric on the other line there. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing amazing.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Ty?
Yeah, amazing, huh?
Amazing.
Clear to define
you know why I'm
why
doing amazing?
No, why?
Because my bracket of record beat yours in our NCAA tournament that we decided to do.
Sure.
However, it should be noted that we did pretty terrible overall. We only picked one of the Final Four team.
Yeah. Out of eight
Out of
picks.
eight picks between the two
out
of
of our
us.
Wild Wild West bracket, though, who did better there, Eric?
I think you did.
You didn't think. You know, I did better. All
However,
right,
we
let's
lost
just even
both
the
of our
playing field there.
champions on the first 2 days.
Yeah. I just am more of a risk taker, Eric, and I get more of those. Anyway, I think just quick shout out though. You did do well on calling UC Irvine, going all the way back into that pick. I think Oregon, we were calling that one pretty wholeheartedly.
Yep.
And Liberty,
I got that one.
So
I
if
picked
you
Liberty.
were picking up some of our picks there on those upsets, you should have done all right with your bracket. We did not focus too much on the Final Four. That was, I don't know. Don't hold anything against us on that.
For the record, I got all of the 5-12 matchups correct, including the 3 upsets.
That's me applauding you. Well done, Eric.
You.
That
Thank
was
you.
good, though.
Thank you.
Impressive.
Thank you.
All right. That is also what we're not talking about in this episode, as it turns out. So moving on. Well, baseball. Baseball season is here.
It's here, man.
Oh, yes. Whew. Like, can we just get that on the table there right now? And, ooh, yeah, I've been looking forward to it. Love the baseball season.
The 1,000 games a season that they play.
Yeah.
It started.
Yes, right. Of all the 1,000+ baseball games, there's lots of baseball to be had all the way through October. What are you excited about? There's some good stuff. Any first impressions or just things you're looking forward to?
You know, there's a couple things that I want to touch base. You know, I really like the beginning of the baseball season. I think a lot of people feel that way. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of fun behind it. You can really see some of the early matchups, and you're kind of excited for a new sport, whatever comes along, whether, you know, when football starts up, basketball, hockey, or baseball, like something fresh starts up, and there's not much else going on this time of year as far as new sports. There's a bunch of stuff winding down. So I'm excited for a new season, a new sport to kind of get underway. But one of the things that I'm actually like super excited about every year is I love the new food that comes to stadiums. I mean, it's not the standard hot dog and burger and nachos anymore. Like it's
interesting.
You know, you got the Polish platter that's taking place in Chicago. With the White Sox. You know, that's like this massive Polish sausage with like sauerkraut and what looks like deviled eggs. It's just ridiculous. Okay. You have like the corny dog egg roll at Comerica, which is in Detroit. So it's this egg roll filled with a hot dog and chili cheese, drizzled and like mustard and diced onions. Some of the other ones is let's see, where is this one? Oh, the peanut butter and bacon sandwich in Minneapolis at Target Field. This is a really cool one.
They would eat
on
that up
in
there.
DC.
Okay.
The bone-in smoked beef short rib.
Okay.
That's a pretty awesome one. And then the last one that I saw is if you are into chicken and waffles, head down to Atlanta. You can get a chicken and waffle boat there at SunTrust Park.
Oh, that hurts my stomach to think about that. But I mean, I'm glad you're excited about it.
I just like the new food that comes to the baseball stadiums. It's not the basic stuff anymore, man. They make it an experience. So well done. Well done.
Okay.
What about you, man? What are you excited about?
No, Eric, that is, I didn't know that you were going in that direction, but well done. All right, I take it. And you're right. I mean, ballparks have some odd food, and they try to outdo themselves, I think, year over year. Looking at, over the season, and you mentioned this at the kind of preluding your food cravings there, what you're looking forward to, is that it is new beginnings. It's a new season. Everyone is relatively in the hunt for the playoffs. I mean, they are. We're not even a week in while we're talking about it right now. That means no team is removed than more than 4 or 5 games at the most out of first place. That's awesome. I like the shot out of the gate kind of thing. It does feel always like New Year's, though, right? And everyone's got this New Year's resolution, and you're going to be the best you. And so in this case, you're going to be the best team that you can be. And really, it'll fall off toward the end of June, All-Star break, great. But then you got those long days in July and August. I always look forward to that, though. That's when when you're a baseball fan.
Those are some times that I don't look forward to.
Right. I think
middle of July is brutal.
You know, you really enjoy the sport when you want to watch baseball in July. That's where I'm going with that.
100% agree.
Yeah. You get trade deadlines coming up. You're looking at what you can do to either are you going to project for the next season, or are you trying to make that push for the playoffs and make a run? Some fun, exciting stuff, and it's hot. I mean, this time of year, it's too chilly to really want to go to the ball game. Here in town, they moved the Cardinals' home opener because it's going to be too rainy and cold. Like, oh no. Oh man, it's like,
I mean,
let's just get into the season.
Rain, I mean, that's
sure, who doesn't?
Fun.
Come on, play some baseball in the rain. It's not gonna hurt. No. Okay.
No.
Well, I'm also excited for all the new players. Not new players necessarily, actually. More the new contracts. And what do people do with those contracts? How is the performance going to be on these marquee players? Like Mike Trout, we haven't talked about him since last time we were on. He signed that monster deal. That's going to be intriguing. And the Angels are actually coming into town in St. Louis. So that means the return of Albert Pujols. I think that's the one key thing I'm actually looking forward to most this baseball season. I'm just going to put that
I mean, that's a pretty big call out because, all the time that I've been living here in St. Louis, they still love Albert Pujols. They love him to death here.
The dude's got a statue.
He's never been back here. Now, given he plays in an American League team, and so they don't come to town very often, but in the 10 years that he's been gone, just about 10 years, I think this is 10th year, he's never been back here, which is a little crazy to think that they haven't been able to, kind of work that into the schedule that, we haven't seen the Angels come here to St. Louis in 10 years, regardless of Albert Pujols, but still, they should be cycling teams through here a little bit more often. So good to see him come back. Yeah.
We're going to see him as well as maybe get a photo with Fred Bird. That'd be fun. And that's a segue right there,
Fred
Eric,
Bird.
to Best Mascots. You wanted to put this into the show on our Who You Got. We're changing over to that portion of our episode. You picked best mascots. All right, I like it. There's some weird ones. There's some good ones. And there are some just, oh, man, some real bummers out there as far as mascots. Yeah, I think if you just Google search or Google image.
As far as some of the worst mascots.
You see some weird ones.
There, you definitely see some weird ones. The one that I think really stands out as just being unbelievably atrocious is Gritty for the Philadelphia Flyers. That mascot is just awful. I don't know. I'm sure if you're a Flyers fan, you love them, but that's just atrocious. But we're not talking about the worst. We're talking about the best.
All right.
And I want to give you some honorable mentions.
Okay.
Just some iconic ones and some ones that I thought really had a good stronghold or a good representation of what you see. And, I have some runners up here.
All right.
But the Leprechaun in Notre Dame.
Oh, so we're going beyond. We're going collegiate as well.
I mean, that's the only collegiate one I have.
All right.
But I did want to throw him in there. I think it's a pretty iconic mascot, and I think it's a pretty great one, the Leprechaun for Notre Dame. Another one that I think is pretty iconic, another runner-up, is Mr. Met. I love him.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty classic.
I like it.
Pretty classic one, and we'll go, I think, Philadelphia.
He is just a walking baseball, but it works.
Yeah.
Your last one
The Fanatic is my last runner-up before I get to my number one.
Okay.
They have the worst there with Gritty, but they have a great iconic mascot, which is the Philly Fanatic. I hate the city of Philadelphia and their sports teams, but God dang it, if the Philly Fanatic isn't a great mascot.
I know.
The best mascot for me is the San Diego Chicken. I mean, how can you not love the San Diego Chicken? That's like the most classic mascot out there that there is. It's the famous chicken from San Diego. It debuted in 1974. The San Diego Chicken not only performs at the Padre games, but he also pops up at sporting events and concerts across the country and in the area. And so I'm going to go with the San Diego Chicken for me. What about you? What do you got?
Okay, it is bizarre for the chicken, but yeah, I see that. And it's about brand recognition there. If you're going for that, I have to agree with you. Fanatic, it has to fit in there. And you can't see that guy and then not know exactly associate what he represents.
Yeah,
Even though he's a
100%.
furry green monster with a tongue that furls out of a snout, and you don't really know, is he an alien? Is he a Sesame Street reject? You don't know. He's just from Philly, and he's a guy, and he's hanging out, and he's excited about baseball in the Phillies. So, but it works. I kind of like, having spent some time around the Rockies, I like Dinger, actually. And Dinger does a pretty good job. Although I can one-up him, is the Denver Nuggets mascot. That guy flies, man. Rocky, yeah, thank you.
He's actually kind of all over the place. He's one of those ones that you see a lot of in little social media clips, whether he's doing his dunk stuff or there's one.
Rocky's a stud, man.
I see all the time. He's bringing out the teddy bears, and the girl rejects it, so he brings out a bigger one. She hates it, and he brings out like this massive thing that's like the size of a house, and sits it on her. So I mean, like, I've seen,
they got a good thing going.
So, I mean, that's a pretty awesome basketball mascot, Mr. Rocky. I like
all right,
it.
And then for a collegiate pick, Oregon Ducks.
Okay,
that's all I'm gonna say. Because I think maybe he gets a lot of airtime, but
I think he does get a lot of airtime.
Yeah. For whatever reason, he's got a good agent.
Pretty friendly looking duck.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
And ducks are just nature's comedians there. So there's best mascots. If you guys want to share your favorite mascots, hit us up on the Faceplace, facebook.com. What are we? AVG Sports?
AVG Sports.
That's right.
On the book.
That's one.
I'll put up some mascot pictures. You can tell me what you guys like.
And taking a look at some playoff pictures now for our Lightning Standings segment. We have some, you talked about this, Eric. The sports aren't really kicking up right now other than baseball. Although MLS has kicked off as well. I just want to kind of keep that in the back of people's minds. We'll have to bring that up in the next few weeks or so and just see how the season's panning out. Because there's a growing audience for it. Good demand. But anyway,
there sure is.
I digress. Into our Lightning Standings, we're doing a twofer for you guys because the NBA and NHL, by the next time we record an episode, are both going to be in their playoff seasons. So we want to paint the pictures for you guys on both leagues. So Eric has the NBA. He's going to tell you who's in and not even really talk about who's out. So fill you in, try to get you guys hyped up for some hoops. Eric, take it away.
Perfect. So in the NBA, as Ty said there, I'm not going to talk about the teams that aren't in it. I will talk about all the teams that have either clinched or one still in contention at the moment of a recording here. So already clinched in the East, you have Milwaukee, Toronto, Philly, Indy, and Boston, all kind of in that exact order right there. And then in the East, you have a bunch of jumbled mess there, kind of at the bottom from 6 all the way down. And so Detroit is sitting at 6, 19 games back. Brooklyn, Orlando, and Miami are all 19.5. And then in 10th place is Charlotte. They're 22.5. They're probably going to be eliminated here pretty quickly. But Miami, Orlando, Brooklyn, Detroit, any one of those 4 teams can be in or out as we wrap up next Wednesday with the end of the NBA season. Western Conference is set. People will move up and down, but the 8 teams are already set. And that's Golden State, Denver, Houston, Portland Trailblazers, Utah, LA Clippers, San Antonio Spurs, and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Everyone else in the West did not make it. And the NBA, Ty, you got the NHL, so
that's right.
What's going on there?
Well, the NHL is not as just clear cut as the Western Conference. I don't think. I don't know how often that gets firmed up so early on in the season. I mean, I know they only have a few games left, but man, there's like just no drama. That's going to fizzle right out. Anyway, NHL is pretty dominant, or as far as the top of the Eastern Conference. I mean, you knew Tampa Bay. They're coming in with really
Tampa's
a franchise record-setting season.
Could be
really
NHL
flirting
record.
With the NHL record is right. 124 points. That's on the season thus far with 80 games played. So they are sitting at the top, followed by the Bruins, Washington Capitals at that 3 seed right now, and Toronto Maple Leafs with 99 points, along with the New York Islanders. They are for sure in it at 99. Now, who can still make it on the bubble? Pittsburgh Penguins have a shot. Hurricanes and the Blue Jackets have 94 points, as well as the Canadiens. They are going to battle, but we'll see how that shapes up. But I bet Pittsburgh's going to hang on and still make their spot It'll be interesting to see what those other three teams between Hurricanes, Blue Jackets,